Hey everyone, it's been about 2 weeks since we purchased this Mercedes AMG GLE 43. And now that we have 2 weeks under our belts here, I want to go through some of the stuff that we really like about it, my girlfriend and myself, and why we ended up buying this vehicle here. So first of all, AMG, very cool, very fast. If you know me, you can see in the distance here, I like Stellantis products and I like SRT products. So this is about the closest thing that we could get that was an SRT comparable to a Jeep SRT or a Durango SRT that we could actually afford. So I want to get that out of the way right away here. This was a 2017 with 50,000 miles on it, $28,000. So in order for us to jump into a Jeep SRT or a Durango SRT, or even the RT Tow and Go from the Durango, it would have been 40 to 45 plus. And that was just not in our budget right now. So first thing, engaging to drive. It's an AMG, it's a GLE 43. Let's take a look at the power plant here. We'll hit the interior in a bit. So along with the power plant here, this is a very, very attractive car. Of course, it's a 5-seater. Interesting fact here, the GLE was based off the ML chassis. Back in the day, the ML chassis is what created the WK and the WD version of the Jeep Grand Cherokee and the Durango. So ultimately, this is just a souped up Mopar product. In my mind, it is, to justify getting a Mercedes Benz. This, of course, is the black obsidian paint. Awesome name for it. So here is the power plant here. This has to be one of the cooler engine covers I have ever seen on a vehicle. Of course, it's an AMG. Functional hood venting on both sides, which I thought was pretty cool. Very reminiscent of the Jeep SRT or the Durango RT Tow and Go or SRT products here. So with this is a bi-turbo V6 from Mercedes-Benz. This is essentially a tuned-up version of the 350 series or 400 series in any E-Class, C-Class, GLE class. So this is producing about 365 horsepower and 390 foot-pound torque. It has since been up-tuned to produce more power from the factory. So one nice thing about this vehicle, which I don't do, but tuning, this engine is essentially endless to the amount of tuning that you can do on it to produce more and more and more and more power. But factory stock, this is about a 5.5 second 0 to 60 vehicle, considering it weighs about 5,000 pounds. Not bad. And the 4MATIC system here, this isn't 4MATIC Plus, but this is the original 4MATIC system. So when you put it into Sport Plus or Sport mode, more torque gets sent to the rear wheels, each wheel independently. And you can kind of have some play with it there to make it feel more rear-wheel drive, as this is a rear-wheel drive-based all-wheel drive system. So this is, I believe this is the M276. So some of this internal structure is actually shared with the Pentastar V6 from Chrysler. So that 3.6 liter that they put in all their fleet vehicles. I've had 2 of them in the Journey that we had, and I had a 200 hardtop convertible that had this 3.6 liter. Of course, this is Mercedes-Benz 3-liter bi-turbo. But just interesting to note, this is also a shared engine with the 3.5 liter V6 from Mercedes as well. So all in all, they share some of the same parts and everything like that. But you can see engine cover, it is flimsy. It does come off. It's certainly not a Hemi engine cover, but still very cool nonetheless. You can see all the intakes there. It's a very clean engine. AMG. So this engine, essentially, and I do actually want to touch on this before I move on. So we're looking at this, and then we're looking at a WK version of the Grand Cherokee with the 5.7 liter Hemi V8. Essentially, the horsepower and torque numbers are the exact same as the 5.7 liter Hemi V8. The only thing is, this is just a turbocharged engine. So when you are driving, if you're lower in the rev range, you're not hitting that power band as soon as the Hemi is. But This vehicle and the Durango RT Tone Go that we have essentially the same 0 to 60 time, because the specs are damn near identical with weight and with power of the engine. The only thing that is better on that vehicle is the ZF 8-speed transmission. This has a Mercedes-Benz 9-speed transmission that, while it is a very fast to shift, isn't quite as fast as that ZF. But I do have to say, this 9-speed transmission is a step up from their old 7-speed transmission that they used to have in their vehicles. I am very impressed with it. There is no getting around it. I am very impressed. The ZF is one of the best, if not the best, transmission in the industry. So this 9-speed is better than most Cadillac, most GM, most Ford transmissions that I have tried in the past here. So along with it, you do get these awesome AMG reels. They are 20-inch. The tire size is 265, 45 all the way around. One would think that you would be able to get a 295 on this, but back in 2017, Mercedes didn't throw those on there. But not to worry, the grip on this is still what you would expect from a larger SUV. It's good. It's fun to drive. It's very engaging. Transmission in Sport and Sport Plus is engaging to drive, very fast to shift. One thing to note on this GLE here, it does come with the AMG exhaust. So you do get, this is supposed to be their quad tip exhaust, but if you look closely, you can see it's only a dual. Kind of that fake exhaust. But the exhaust note is actually real. There is no pumped in audio on this. That is one thing that is interesting to note. And another thing that is interesting to note, you do get your towing package with this, which for us, we need. Since I have a boat or I have a trailer with snowmobiles, equipment that I need to haul in case the truck is out, this can tow up to 7,200 pounds. So this can do essentially everything my truck can, which is really nice. Just one little last thing on the exterior here. I have grown to like this. I always hated the design of the ML. I just hated it. And now as the GLE has grown up, it has begun to look better and better, even in today's form with the 2024 versions. But back in 2017, this was a very fine-looking vehicle, and it began to look like some of the Mercedes-Benz of today with that awesome headlight styling, the grille, awesome front fascia, and then the rear. But we're going to touch here. So we do get some LED lights here, or daytime running lamps that do turn amber, which look really good when you turn. Of course, high beam, low beam. These are some of the best lights that I have used on the market. And then, of course, hitting the back here, kind of more of a stately design. You have your big AMG badge and your big GLE 43 badge. So everybody knows what you're rolling in here with this Benz, which is pretty damn cool. Nice, large spoiler on the back as well. So that's one thing to note here. You do get a larger spoiler than most LED taillights. Essentially, when you look at this, you can really tell that the WK and the WD Grand Cherokee and Durango were born from this chassis way back in the day. So kind of cool there to note as well. But one thing you do get with this vehicle, it tries to look masculine up front and it tries to be feminine in the back. Overall, this is one of the best vehicles, just like the SRT Jeep or just like the Durango. You can go out on the weekend if you're a male and do some hella cool enthusiast driving, or you can carry your family around with it and have it be a daily driver when you want it to be, if you're the wife of the family, or vice versa. So that I do appreciate, and I do like a lot of this vehicle. And as much as I'm not a SUV guy, I'm very happy with the driving engagement of this GLE 43. So we're going to hop in the interior on this here and see what we think after 2 weeks of use with the interior. One thing just to hit quick, I just want to show you this. We've never had a vehicle with soft closing doors, and I'm sure not a lot of you have either. So just watch this. Soft closing doors automatically shut the door. How cool is that? So we're going to hop in. First thing you notice right off the bat, AMG door sills lighted up. How cool is that? So looking at the interior here, this is the mid-level interior. This is not the heavily bolstered AMG massaging cooling seat interior, but this isn't the cheap MB Tex either. This is the real leather, kind of the in-between of this vehicle. I do have the window sticker for this truck. This was still $82,000 when it was new. Now, I can go on a whole nother tangent here on why this vehicle isn't worth $82,000 new, and you can go out and buy like a Jeep SRT or a Durango SRT and have way more fun, way more power. But on the used market, just like any Mercedes-Benz, this is a hell of a deal because for us, this was affordable. Now, I am going to keep everyone updated on the vehicle health, on what needs to be done on it, you know, that type of stuff moving forward. But on the used market, this was affordable and this was very engaging to drive for us. So that's why we bought it. So first thing, again, AMG badge there, and then you're going to notice you have some bright pedals, some kind of athletic pedals there, really, if you ask me. And then we're going to hop in. One thing I do have to say Mercedes did right, and essentially what Chrysler did to follow, was this awesome steering wheel. So thick, heavily bolstered, flat bottom on here. Very fun, very engaging to drive. All your steering wheel controls, of course, volume, voice command, and then to get your little display right there to control that. This does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is pretty cool. You can see it does have heated seats, no heated steering wheel as well. So again, that wasn't in the package. But one thing I do like here that did come with this vehicle was the carbon fiber package. So you get carbon fiber everywhere on the in the cabin, along with this black lacquer piano black here, kind of plastic-ish stuff. But overall, 2017, this did begin to show its age with the older infotainment. I had a 2011 E550 that had basically the same infotainment system, but I do have to say for us, we're used to this. We're used to a dial. I've had Genesis, I've had Mercedes-Benz that have dials like this, so I've definitely used to it. Everything is very straightforward. You have snow mode, comfort mode, sport, sport plus, individual. When you throw in a sport plus, the baffles open, this thing gets loud. Oh, it gets so loud. It's so fun. And then you also have raising of the vehicle. If you ever do any off-road for this, you can go right into your vehicle settings, manual mode, and then if you're going down a hill, you have that as well. So overall, very cool ride. Nice black interior here, a nice panoramic moonroof all the way back to the second row. That does close. You can close the shades on that, which is cool. But overall here, this also does come with all the Distronic adaptive cruise control, pedestrian awareness, animal awareness, all that stuff. Back and front parking cameras, 360 degrees of cameras here. And then, of course, the shift knob is right up here, which is pretty cool. And, yeah, so I won't go in depth on the infotainment system. I will do that on a separate review. But for right now, this is just such a nice place to spend time. It reminds me of my E550 I had, just newer and spruced up. But very, very, very fun, very cool, nice place to spend time. It's very ergonomically correct, and definitely a ton of space and a ton of storage here for all of your stuff. Slow close with the door. And then we get to the second row here. You can already see there's some dirtiness on the seat. So the second row is nice. This is a ton of room. So this is how my girlfriend drives right here. There is a ton of room back here. Nice little surprise. You get heated rear seats, automatic climate control, all the gadgets and everything you want back here. No TV back here. We don't need that. Of course, we don't have kids. One thing to note, this does have the Harman Kardon 17 speaker audio, which I do have to say, I've had that system in other Mercedes before. It is one of the best systems in a vehicle. This vehicle is so quiet on the road, and you can see here just looking at it, like when you're in the rear, you feel like you're in the cockpit. You feel like you're lower in the vehicle than you actually are. You also have peasant blockers to block out anybody looking in or any shade, which is pretty sweet. But this vehicle does an excellent job at making you feel like you are engaged in driving and being comfortable at the same time. This has just an amplitude of space back here for a mid-sized SUV. I'm very impressed with that. You can road trip this car, no problem. People in the back will be comfortable. You can also recline these seats if you want to as well, which is very nice here. And then these headrests go up very easily, make it super, super, super comfortable. I have to say, this is one of the most comfortable rear seats that I have sat in. It's totally awesome. And the visibility out of this vehicle is very nice here as well. And of course, you've got a pretty big trunk area. We'll take a look at that now. As we're hopping out, we're gonna try the soft closing door. Boop. The rear hatch is automatic as well, which is nice. And then you can see here just how much space you have in the rear hatch. Now, of course, this isn't a 3-row SUV, so you're not going to get all that space that you would with like a GLS or a Grand Cherokee L or something like that. But you do get a fairly nice area to throw your groceries in, throw your luggage in. You could fit a family of 4's luggage back here, no problem. There's an amplitude of space that I am very impressed with. If you want more space, the rear seats fold all the way down as well, which is really nice. And there we go. One thing to note, this is a bi-turbo V6. You do need premium gas in it. So we've averaged the last 2 weeks a lot of city driving, a little bit of highway driving, in the 55 mile an hour area. We've averaged like 18 to 20. So that's one thing about these bi-turbo V6s, or the fancy way of saying it. Just a turbo V6 or twin turbo V6, inline six, whatever. A boosted engine. Boosted engines rarely get better gas mileage than naturally aspirated engines. So, of course, in Europe, they have a lot of regulation that we are just now getting in America. As you can see, this has a Hemi. The V8s are going away just because of regulations. So Mercedes had to essentially replace the old 550 platform with that standard V8 with a boosted 6. So that's what this turned into. You don't get any better gas mileage with that boosted engine, and you have to put premium in it. So at the end of the day, if you do gain 1 to 2 miles per gallon better, it's all erased in the price of premium gas. So that's my one gripe with it. Whether you put a Hemi V8 in this or a boosted M276 engine, the gas mileage is roughly the same. The Durango gets about the same gas mileage as this that I have noticed. Any other Grand Cherokees will get about the same gas mileage as this. So at the end of the day, the gas mileage, when you buy a large SUV like this, you shouldn't be worried about gas mileage. None of them get good gas mileage unless you buy a diesel version. That's just my 2 cents on it. But after 2 weeks, are we happy with this? Yes, we have not returned it yet to the dealership, and we have not tried to exchange it. So we are very happy with it. We are very glad we bought it. I love it because of the driving engagement and all the awesome features that it has. My girlfriend loves it for the safety features, the 360-degree camera, pedestrian detection, advanced automatic cruise control, all the features it has, and it's awesome. It's there's no compromise when it comes to this vehicle. Just like the Durango that we have, there's no compromise. You can do it all. You can race. You can have some fun with it. You can drive it around on the weekends. You have awesome stopping power. You can haul a family in here. You can haul your groceries in here. You can drive a bigger, larger vehicle and feel safe. So there's really no compromises. The only thing that compromises here is the weight. You know, it's a large, heavy vehicle. But you could tow with it. You could do everything with it. So at the end of the day, we're very, very happy with it. Our 2-week review is highly positive. Depending on the reliability of one of these, I would recommend one of these to somebody. You know, of course, you have to live slightly near a Mercedes-Benz dealer, and you have to, you know, have a good mechanic on hand just in case you don't. But so far, so good. This has been a very fun and engaging vehicle to drive. Reach out with any questions if you like this. If you like this vehicle, like and subscribe, and I will have way more content on this AMG GLE 43.